So he's got his knee shield in here, right? Yep, he's got a good strong frame. Okay, I'm gonna block that knee with my bottom knee, right? That's where I'm gonna go around it. If I don't have, you feel that?
Yeah.
My knee has been hurting all day. It just popped and now all of a sudden it feels better. It's so weird, right? I'm gonna shoot over his shoulder. My knees are squeezed. My hips come forward. I flow around that knee, right? He can go underhook, that's fine. I've got my chest forward, my hand behind his head, curling him into a ball. I might even grab this foot. I do that a lot, right? Just to try to control him and get to where I want to be. Okay, now when I decide I want to attack him, find that elbow, I'm going to peel it towards my face, slide to the wrist, and I'm pushing his hand towards his hip, all the way to the ground. Okay, my elbow's on the ground, creating a frame so he can't bring his own knees to his hand. I'm out towards his elbow here. I promise it'll make sense in a second. Now, I got to get my leg out of here before I worry about finishing this Kimura. Right? Without giving up position, it's going to be very hard for me to finish. So instead, I want to get out of here first. Okay? I'm going to tuck my elbow in. I'm going to try to put my right shoulder on the ground as close to his head as I can, and my head's going to go to the ground above that. So I'm going to dive over the top, putting my hip right in his face. My back knee here, my right knee, I know that's my foot, but that's the knee that's going to come in. I'm bringing it in between us to pull my leg free, and then I'm going to stomp towards the other wall to bring my hips back across. Okay? I'm going to slide my top knee, right, the one closest to his head, up towards his head to bring us back into a cross position. Okay? Get my elbow as high into his armpit as I can, get my elbow out to his elbow, and then I'm going to slide my elbows towards his head until he taps. Okay? I don't need to do this big, right, to rip on his arm. Too much work. I want to keep my butt down, my feet tucked. I'm going to lock those hands, roll my wrists so all his fingers are on the ground, and slide my elbows up towards his head until he taps. Cool? Questions? All right, so Derek saw one, so come here. This is you next time, so I don't want to get too excited. All right? Knee in, forward, blocking his leg with my leg, rotate the hip. Okay, I'm trying to get my hip to the ground. I don't want to go over the top. Okay, I already got my hand underneath just because I like my stop and escape, but we're not going to do that for this time, so I'm going to let it go. Right, find that elbow, peel it towards my face, wrist, pushing it towards leg. He's going to try to grab his leg here, right, but he doesn't have a lot of power. Okay, as long as I've got his elbow up, he can grab on there, and I should be able to probably pop it free. Wrap, put it on the ground. Okay, now I'm driving into him. I'm actually getting my weight over top of him a little bit on that hand. Right? Tuck the elbow, shoulder on the ground. My head is my third post. Okay, my hips are going to come up towards his head so that my knee is free. Back knee blocks. Pull that leg out, and then I stomp to kick myself back across. Left his head. Slide up towards his head. Right, all the weight on his hand. Roll the wrists with the elbow. Yes? 1, 2, 3.